Need to get it recorded. I can get it lined up. Wow, that's still crooked. 1 second. I'm trying to get it to. There we go. All right. Slope-intercept form of the equation. We are still using. Hopefully you know at this point. Y equals mx plus b. Probably a good 75% of the quiz is going to revolve around y equals mx plus b. That is our main focus over this entire thing. Y equals mx plus b. Now this is very, very similar to yesterday. I have a point, same as I had a point yesterday. So I know this is x, I know this is y, because I have a point. What makes it different than yesterday is yesterday I just said slope equals this. Today I'm saying that I want a line parallel to y equals -1/2 x plus 2. Now things that are parallel use the same slope. They're going the same way. So if I can figure out the slope to this, and I want it parallel, it's going to use the exact same slope. So what is the slope in y equals -1/2 x plus 2? -1/2. That's my slope. So my m, or my slope, is -1/2. This plus 2, I sometimes have students trying to use it. You don't need it. It doesn't do anything for you. It's just kind of there. But sometimes I have students, because it's a number that's on the paper, they go, I got to use it somewhere. It's on the paper. You don't need it. Once you've done that, it's just what you did yesterday. Exactly what you did yesterday. Plug it into this. Y, which is 0, equals m, -1/2, times x, which is -3. I'm going to make it a fraction. I'm looking for b. Now this particular one doesn't come out as an integer. I get a fraction. I'm going to keep a fraction. There are a couple of these on this worksheet, but I will make sure there's none like this on the quiz, because they do get a little bit strange. I get a 3 on top, 2 on bottom. Plus b comes down. I still need to get rid of the 3/2 like I always would. So I'm going to subtract 3/2. Now this one isn't too bad, because it's just 0 subtract 3/2, which is going to be -3/2. And that gives me b. So that one's not horrible. But there are 2 on the back that do get a little bit strange because of the fractions. Now your final thing is just to write your equation again. Y equals -1/2 x minus 3/2. That's my final answer. On the quiz, everything's going to be worth 2 points. And basically, the further you get in the question, the more points you'll get. So if you can plug everything into here, I'd give you like half a point. If you could get to here, I'd probably give you like 1.5 points. If you wrote the final answer, I'd give you 2 points. So all the questions are going to be worth 2 points. And the more you get through the question, the more points you'll get. Are you okay, number 1? So number 2. I have an x, I have a y. I have an equation. What is my slope in this equation? -4. So that's what I want to use. Use your -4. Like I said, this plus 3 at the end, I don't even care about it. Doesn't matter. It's just kind of hanging out there. Now it's the exact same thing from yesterday. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals m times the x plus b. -4 times -1 is 4. So 3 equals 4 plus b. Subtract the 4. -1 equals b. Now to bring it on home, write your equation. y equals negative 4x minus 1. That's your final equation. So pretty much the same thing as I did yesterday. Same process. So see a couple people writing. Can I slide it? You good? Sliding on. 3 and 4, same thing. X, y, what's my slope? Negative 9. Y equals mx, I don't know, b. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. Move the negative 9 by adding 9. You always do the opposite. 4 equals b. So y equals negative 9x plus 4. That is my answer. X, y, my slope is right here, negative 1/3. So my slope is negative 1/3. Y equals mx plus b. Hopefully nobody actually needs that equation. I'll still give it to you, but you shouldn't need it. Y equals mx plus b. I turn the x into a fraction again just because I usually think it makes it a little bit easier when I go to multiply. So when I multiply the top, negative 1 times negative 3 is 3. So I get 3 on top, 3 on bottom. 3 on top, 3 on bottom reduces down to 1. Then I need to subtract 1. And I get 3. Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 3. So the first 4 were parallel. Parallel means they're going the same direction. So if I can figure out what the slope is of the parallel line, I'm going to use the exact same slope. Now notice 5 through 8 does not say parallel. It says perpendicular. Perpendicular is going the other direction. So this is my slope. This is parallel. This is perpendicular. So I need the complete opposite direction. So let me slide this. So just be real careful when you're doing these last couple on the review, on the quiz, that you look to see if it says parallel or perpendicular. So I have an x and a y again. That hasn't changed. But on this one, my slope is 2, which would be 2 over 1. I don't want to use 2 over 1 because that would be parallel to this line. I want perpendicular, which means if this is a positive slope, I'm going to go the other way, so it's going to turn into a negative. Plus, I also have to flip the fraction over. So if it starts as 2 over 1, I'm going to use 1 over 2. So my perpendicular slope is change the sign, flip the fraction. Opposite reciprocal. Opposite reciprocal. Now, if you know what the perpendicular slope is, I'll give you a little bit just for knowing this. Once you got that, it's the exact same thing as we've been doing. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals M, which is the negative 1/2, x, I'm going to put 4/1 plus b. So that's the only difference, is that I don't want to use the original slope. I want to use the perpendicular slope. Negative 4 on top, 2 on bottom. Well, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Add the 2 to both sides. B equals 2. Same as before, I got to finish the problem. Y equals, make sure you use this slope again. Don't go down to here. You want to use negative 1/2. X plus 2. That's my final answer. So it takes a little bit more work, but not bad. Like I said, the ones that I think take the most work is if I give you 2 points. Because you got to find your slope and plug it all in. Those take the most things. Yes?
So will that become positive, like number 6?
Say it again.
Will number 6 become positive?
Yep. So 6. I have an X, I have a Y. My original line is a negative 1/7. I want the perpendicular slope. So what would be a perpendicular slope to negative 1/7? 7. I had a negative, change it to positive, change the sign. So I'm going to be positive, flip it over, I'm going to get 7. You can put 7/1 if you want, but it's changed the sign, flip it over. Opposite reciprocal, opposite reciprocal. Y equals mx plus b. 7 times 1 is 7. 2 equals 7 plus b. Subtract the 7 from both sides, I get negative 5. Then just write your final equation. Make sure you use the 7. You want to use this slope. Y equals 7x minus 5. Final answer. And on the quiz, basically, it's going to be 2 of each of these. There's going to be 2 that say parallel, 2 that say perpendicular. 2 parallel, 2 perpendicular. Are we okay, 5, 6? The last 2 that I'm doing with you. Too far. Here's my X, here's my Y. My slope right now is 1/5. My perpendicular slope is going to be what? Negative 5. If you want to put it over 1, you can. This is positive. My perpendicular is negative. 1/5, flip it over, 5/1. Y equals mx plus b. Like I said, it gets real repetitive after a while. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. Negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. So I get a positive 5 there. Subtract the 5 from both sides. That's a b. So b is negative 1. And then I can go ahead and just write it out. Y equals negative 5. You can put it over 1, but you don't need it. X minus 1. One more I'm doing with you, then you can work on the back. You should have no problem getting the back done. Like I said, you guys really didn't have any questions from yesterday's worksheet, so you have plenty of time to work. X, Y. My original slope is 5. What's my perpendicular slope? I agree with the negative. It is going to be negative. My original slope is 5 over 1. 1 over 5. So remember, if there's a whole number there, I can put it over 1. So when I flip it, it becomes 1 over 5. So negative 1/5. Y equals M X plus B. Well, this is the 5th period. I feel like I'm a broken record. Multiply top, multiply bottom. Negative 5 over positive 5. Negative positive is going to give me a negative 1. So I get a negative 1 there. Add the 1 to both sides. I get 3. Very systematic. So y equals negative 1/5 x plus 3. So basically Thursday, the day of the quiz, I'll have everybody get out the reviews. I'll see if there's any questions whatsoever on the review before we get started. I'll answer any questions there are. Then I will collect the reviews for those students who aren't going to use the review. For those students who want to use the review, you're going to keep your review and then turn your review in when you get the quiz turned in. So that's the plan for Thursday. We might need to finish Friday. I have some students that sometimes take a little bit longer, but Friday's it. We're not going into overtime the next week. You'll have Thursday, you'll have Friday. That's it. If you're here Thursday, you're here Friday, that's it. You're not going to drag it into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have people that drag out quizzes forever. And I haven't had any quizzes this quarter for the most part, so we're not dragging this one out.